them up, and we've more than backed them up. We did a job that nobody ever thought was possible. It's a decision for the President of the United States. Now, with that being said, we're going to work with the states because it's very important. You have local governments. They're pinpointed. It's really, you talk about, it's like a microchip.
It's really, you talk about, it's like a microchip.
And we've been driving that cost down hard because we want a cashless society.
I've said it before. I will say it again. We can't balance the budget on the backs of the very people who have borne the biggest brunt of this recession. Everyone's going to have to chip in. Chip in.
Number 8, we will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens. We will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system. It will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system. It's really, you talk about, it's like a microchip.
Like a microchip.
A proper tracking system. On sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper track.
What CBDC and digital IDs and vaccine passports will do is they will snap into place a fourth fence. And when that fence snaps into place, we are locked down financially and digitally. I call it digital concentration camps. This technology can turn our homes, our cars, and our communities literally into digital concentration camps. When I say that, people don't believe that the vision is this dark, but I want to show you 3 videos to give you a sense of what this feels like. The first video is Augustine Carsons, who is he's the general manager of the Bank of International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland. Who here knows who the BIS is? So this is the central bank of central banks. 63 central banks are members of the BIS from Basel, Switzerland. The rarest thing in the world is to see a central bank banker tell you the truth. Now you're going to get to see a central banker tell you the truth. A very rare. So the technocracy that they're pushing towards is what is called transhumanism. So essentially what you do is you use injections to inject materials into the body that create the equivalent of an operating system. So everybody knows the idea of Microsoft causing you to download an operating system in your computer that gives Microsoft and a variety of other players a backdoor into your computer. And every month or 2 or 3, you've got to update it because they're viruses, right? It's back to the magic virus that can solve all problems. And so this is a similar system for your body. You inject materials into your body that essentially create the equivalent of an operating system and a receiver, and you can literally hook everybody up to the cloud. And that includes hooking them up in a way that their transaction system, the Bible calls it the mark of the beast, is one way people know this up. But you're basically talking about being able to digitally identify and track people in connection with their financial transactions. So it's a world of zero privacy. But more importantly, what's important to understand is if you then institute one or more central bank cryptos, you're now talking about a system where every central bank of the world can shut you off individually from transacting if they don't like the way you're behaving. So many people are familiar with the social credit system in China. It's very similar. You're basically, if you install the smart grid in their car, their community, and now literally in their body, you've got 24/7 surveillance. And if people don't do what you say and behave the way you want, they can and will shut off your money. So, and they'll also have spatial control. If they say you can't travel more than 5 miles, that's it. You know, because you're in a complete digital control system, and it's controlled by the central bankers through the money. We're digitizing everything, but it includes the human body as well and the human mind. So this system comes with complete control not only of your ability to transact financially, which is hooked up to your body, but very sophisticated mind control technology through the media and those cloud connections. So basically, you're talking about hooking up into the Borg, if you will, and so transhumanism, technocracy go hand in hand. Now, I would describe this as a slavery system.
Been put in a trap this year?
Yes. Right, but the door hasn't shut. So that's why the reason we're talking is because transparency can blow the game. It's interesting because in the beginning of the year when I wrote the article Injection Fraud and said Bill Gates is trying to download an operating system in your body just the way you download it in your mind and use virus as an excuse to have to update it, you know, to make it work for his back door every day. 3 months later, and then Corbett did a great series on Gates, and several people came out and sort of reaffirmed this. And it was in the fall. Yahoo Finance did published a poll saying that 44% of Republicans thought Bill Gates wanted to chip them. And I said, okay, we're making progress. So, and that's exactly when Gates sort of disappeared and they brought out Operation Warp Speed because they needed, and interestingly enough, the person they chose to run Operation Warp Speed was an expert on injectable brain-machine interface. He used to head research at GlaxoSmithKline, and he's a brain-machine interface expert.
It's a creepy resume for that job, huh?
It's a perfect resume for that job. You know, here's one of the most important developments that happened in 2019, in addition to the approval of the Going Direct plan by the central bankers in Jackson Hole, was the issuance by the Department of Defense of the Jedi Cloud contract to Microsoft. So you had Amazon Amazon is essentially a CIA and intelligence agency contractor. They started generating a profit when they entered into major contracts with the CIA to provide the clouds, not only for the CIA, but all 17 U.S. intelligence agencies through that umbrella cloud contract. So you now have Amazon running the intelligence agencies contract. This year, Leidos did a big contract, or at the end of 2019, Leidos did a big contract with the Navy, and then DoD did the Jedi contract. And so those three huge cloud contracts give you the ability, once you get everybody hooked up into them, to radically re-engineer how the cash flows work. So you can literally shut down all small business, or almost all small business, put everybody on a universal basic income, which is basically a control system, and run it all through the military clouds.